Haas, Red Bull, Aston Martin, all done today. It's the turn of the McLaren of the Alpha Tauri to make it 5 livery reveals, 5 livery redesigns. The McLaren dropped Friday, the Alpha Tauri dropped Monday. Let's start with the McLaren, a pretty new look for sure. I think the colour palette is absolutely spot on. I love the orange. I didn't like the blue in the past. That was a big problem for me. I couldn't see past it, but this lighter, brighter blue, the contrast is there. I think it looks so nice. The driver overalls as well, by the way, they look decent. And when I look at this McLaren, particularly from this kind of side-on angle, I really like it. Now, they do appear to have gone with a matte finish on this car, which I'm not 100%. I'd like to maybe see a bit of, I think the orange should have been glossy or metallic, and then maybe the blue and the grey matte. But I get having different paint finishes on a car isn't necessarily a realistic thing, right? You just want a car where you can just slap the logos on, bosh, job done. Thing is, when we take in the other angles, the front, the back, the top, the perspective, it doesn't quite sing to me as much. It's that side profile angle that is definitely the winner. I don't know, man. It's a little bit too intricate for my liking. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different angles. There's a lot of pinstriping. The blue is nicely implemented mostly, but even on the side profile, there's like a little bit of blue on the halo and then it goes down back. It's just like, I don't think that's really adding anything. It just makes it look a bit too cluttered. Big faux pas as well is putting a blue driver number straight on the orange, because the blue and the orange, they don't work bang on together. You need that black to be in the middle, breaking it up. The front angle to me isn't that interesting. I don't really like the implementation of the orange on the front wing. The balance of logos to livery is better, I think, than the Aston Martin. The logos are a bit too much, but the composition is way simpler on the Aston Martin. So as much as I prefer this colour palette, I'm actually going to give this a 7. I'm going to rank this behind the Aston Martin and behind the Red Bull. I think the colour palette has loads of potential. I hope they keep this going forward, and maybe next year I'll enjoy it a bit more. In terms of the actual physical design of the car, it was really nice to see McLaren not just roll out a generic model. There were some elements on here that, you know, those side inlets, much more kind of rounded off than the square ones that we've seen that have looked a bit clunky, if you ask me. I do still feel they're keeping quite a bit behind closed doors though, McLaren. I wouldn't be surprised if the car we actually see isn't a carbon copy of this. So that's my thoughts on the real thing. Now, my redesign of the 2022 McLaren. Here we go. Now, what do you think? For me, now look, I've not been overly confident with a lot of these redesigns, but I think this is much better. Let's take a look at the side profile shot first and foremost. So again, I've changed the angle. So instead of the blue going below and then up the back, it starts above the velo and then comes down towards the back. I've also stripped back the blue. There's not quite as much going on here. I want that to be a firm kind of secondary colour, not battling too much with the orange, because I think the orange is really strong. I've slightly changed the layout of logos here, bringing Golf up to the front. Rear wing is orange and black from the side profile, but when you flip it to the top, there's a lot more blue going on. I like that. I miss the days of the Renault when it looked yellow from the front and black from the sides, and we might see that with my Alpha Tauri redesign as well. I blacked out the halo a little bit. I think that works well. And then we come round to the front. And again, I think my implementation of the velo, the black, the blue, the orange on the front wing, I really like this. I think this is a cool different way of doing it. Blue sweeps down here, you got the blue up there, and again a bit of black. We've always got the black outline in the blue. The blue is never directly on the orange. I think that's super important. A bit of black with the mirrors and then blue them out there. And yeah, again, I think this balance works much nicer for me. Made the McLaren logo on the nose shine a bit more. And I mean, there you have it really. For me, this composition is way more aesthetically pleasing than what we've actually got. Again, it's using these really strong colours that I think McLaren did a great job choosing, but just implementing them in a nicer way, if you ask me. But as always, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Did I make this better or worse? And then on to the Alpha Tauri, the third iteration since the team was renamed from Toro Rosso. Look, it's been a well-received livery, I think, over the course of its time. I didn't really like their first season livery last year's. I thought was better. Now we've got this, again, side profile. I think this car looks great. Just like with the McLaren, if you look at it, bang, completely side on. It's very purposeful. I like the shape of the body. I like the fact that the Alpha Tauri kind of icon on the engine cover is kind of angled down a bit. It makes it look more purposeful. I like the Alpha Tauri, how it kind of curls up. I think that's a really nice composition. It seems to highlight the Venturi tunnels, which I think is pretty cool. However, you come around to the front and it loses a lot for me. I don't really like it from the front angle. I've never really liked how they put Alpha Tauri on the front wing either. It's very stretched and a bit messy. Also, keeping the X's orange on Flexbox, I'm just like, why couldn't you've just left it all white? I know they would have called for it, the brand, and it makes it more legible, I get it, but it's still annoying. There are some nice little Italian flag hits on the front wing and the wing mirrors as well, which is smart. The side profile is great, but the front I really don't like. Any angle other than bang side on, and it's just a bit for me. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, I'm putting this behind the Red Bull, behind the Aston Martin, behind the McLaren as well. I know a lot of people like this. Also, again, in regards to the actual physical design of the car, we know this is borrowing some components from the Red Bull. Does this give anything away? I mean, it isn't the standard template once again, which once again is nice to see. Very squared off side pods, just like with the Aston Martin, but the front nose, they've gone for a different kind of angle with that. Again, I'm not going to read too much into the body design, but what we have seen looks pretty interesting. Of the 5 cars we've seen so far, only the Red Bull hasn't really shown us anything actually practical, which we do expect to be on the car. Not everyone's going to get it right. Some teams are going to do better than others. We just don't know. They don't. That's what makes it all the more exciting. And finally, let's look at my rendition of the 2022 Alpha Tauri. Okie dokie, I'm excited to show you this one because I think I've smashed it. I'm just saying it. Okay, I think I've killed this one. Before you say it, yes, this does give me BMW Sauber Williams vibes as well. So I think it looks great. We'll start with the sides. So again, the basic composition of the side profile I've kept the same. So the swooshing up Alpha Tauri and the logo up here, but I have reversed the colors. So now it's white on a blue base. But then I was like, you know what? I want color blocking. I want to stick white on the front nose and I want this to be the dominant color from the front. So it's mainly white on the front, mainly blue on the side. I love the little Italian flag they put on the front wing, so I've kept that as well with Epicor there. Even though that doesn't fit that space amazingly well, with the Italian flag it kind of works better, but I have moved Flexbox up here and whited it all out because, yes, I'm doing that. And ICM's come onto the front wing because that fits that space a bit better. Front wing, I've ditched the Alpha Tauri. I've kept it simpler. For me, this works nicer. It's not as big and bold, I understand that, but it's more legible and less ugly. And with the nose, I just thought there must be a nice way of implementing the AlphaTauri logo into some kind of shape that just gives the nose a bit more character rather than just the logo on the nose. And I think this looks good. It does look very BMW. Rest of the logos up the nose, kept their standard font, number 10 for Pierre Gasly. Fashion Mix function, a bit cringe, but we're keeping that on there as well. Again, Honda Racing Corporation at the back, and then AlphaTauri up here. And again, this white line that starts here on the AlphaTauri kind of expands up gradually and then like blends into the rear wing. And I added a bit under here as well, just to kind of frame that logo nicely. The Zone Japan makes an appearance down here as well as on the wing. For me, I much prefer this. This is the first of any of the liveries that I can say I much prefer my version. But once again, what I think doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments below. Did I make it better? Did I make it worse? Let me know out of 10. That's a wrap, people. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. Next, we've got Williams and then Ferrari on Thursday. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good ta-da.